Please watch the video until the end. Chapter 1. The summer before. I met him the summer before college. He was the sort of person who filled a room without trying, confident, loud, polished. My name is Mara, and I was new to the city then, living in a narrow apartment above a bookstore and learning how to keep my plants alive. He lived 2 doors down, in a place with a balcony full of succulents and a laugh that could be heard through the thin walls. I liked to watch him from my kitchen window as he practiced guitar on the balcony, sun catching his hair. He had a close circle of friends and a quick joke for every awkward silence. People adored him. I noticed the way he could charm teachers, the way strangers smiled back when he nodded. He never did anything to make me jealous. I was content to be the quiet neighbor who borrowed sugar and left notes about borrowed books. One evening we both reached for the same copy of a poem collection at the used bookstore downstairs. He smiled the effortless smile and said, "You have good taste in bad weather." I laughed and introduced myself. We walked home together, and in the yellow light of the street lamps he asked about my life, listening in a way that made me feel seen. It was the start of something that felt small and bright, like the first light before dawn. Chapter 2. A mirror shatters. Not long after, his world changed. He had always been vain about his face, about how people noticed him. He loved attention the way some people love art. That attention shifted after an event we both regretted. A cruel rumor that began as a mean joke and grew into something ugly. He responded with anger and a terrible sense of entitlement that made him lash out. Words were said, and one night he found himself outside a small, hidden shop of curiosities where a woman with tired eyes handed him a hand mirror. She warned him, not unkindly, that what he most feared might be the thing that teaches him compassion. He laughed and brought the mirror home. The next morning, he woke and looked into it. The face that stared back was not the one the city knew. It was a face shaped by every harsh thing he had said and done. Not a monster in the old storybook sense, but badly scarred, rough, and unfamiliar. He was terrified in a way I had never seen. He closed himself off. The friends who had once called him daily stopped showing up at his balcony. He stopped going out. I knocked anyway. He opened the door with a face wrapped in a scarf, and the same old eyes behind it, frightened and refusing to accept the change. He was ashamed, and shame is a heavy blanket. Chapter 3. Learning to see. I visited him because I remembered the boy, who liked rainy poetry, and had once carried my groceries without asking. He had trouble looking at me at first. He thought I would turn away like others did, but something in him needed to be kept company. And something in me wanted to remember the man behind what his face had become. We started small. I brought soup. He showed me his bookshelf and read aloud from a battered volume of short stories. He was still clever and kind when he wanted to be. The scarred face did not change that. As weeks went by, I watched him relearn small courtesies, feel remorse for the sharp words he'd used, and hesitate before making a joke that might hurt. He practiced not speaking first, and listened more than he had before. In those quiet afternoons, he learned humility. He apologized to people I brought to visit. He learned to accept help and to help in return. There were setbacks. Nights when he covered his face and refused to answer the door, and days when old arrogance slipped free. But mostly he softened. He learned to be brave in the way that matters. Brave enough to let strangers know the person beneath the skin. Chapter 4. The Promise of Rain. One rainy night, we took shelter under the awning of a closed cafe. The city smelled like wet stone and coffee grounds. He told me about his father, about pressure and expectation, about how he had used a sharp tongue to hide his own fragile heart. I told him about the bookstore upstairs and my stubborn hope that plants could survive anything with the right care. When the rain slowed, he reached out and gently brushed my hair from my face. I felt the same electricity I had felt that first summer, but deeper now, threaded with the trust we had built. He said, "I thought I had to be liked for the wrong things. I was wrong." I told him that being known feels better than being admired for the outside. That night he promised himself to be better, not to chase old attention, and to be kind because kindness fit him, not because it shined. I promised to stay, not from pity, but because I had come to love the way his laugh echoed when he read aloud, and the care in his hands when he watered my apartment plants. We kissed under the hush of wet streets, a slow thing that felt like a homecoming. Chapter 5. A light returns. News spread that someone in our neighborhood was changing, not in looks but in heart. People who had avoided him saw him volunteer at the community garden, saw him sit quietly with an elderly neighbor and learn to listen. The mirror in the little shop remained on his shelf, a reminder of the night everything turned. Sometimes he would stare into it, not to wish his old face back, but to remember why he had to keep growing. One morning, on the first day of spring, his scarf came off for good. He walked into the light without hiding, and I saw him fully for the first time. The face still marked by the past, but open and honest, reflecting the person he had chosen to become. He did not change back like in the old fairy tales. There was no magic undoing, only the slow blooming of someone willing to be better. We married that autumn in the courthouse with a baker's dozen of friends and a bookshelf of poems behind us. We planted a tree in the small park across the street and gave each other the same care we gave our plants. Water, light, patience. People asked me once if I had loved him for the man under the face, or because I hoped he would return to his old self. I told them I loved him because he had learned to love himself. Chapter 6. What beauty means now. Years later, I still find him on the balcony with his guitar, hair dusted with gray, hands careful with the chords. He smiles differently now, steady, sure, quieter. We still fight sometimes, about small things like who forgot to buy milk or who left their mug on the nightstand. Those fights are brief and forgiving. I learned that beauty is not an appearance to chase. It is the work of being patient, of asking how someone's day was, of staying when it is easier to leave. The mirror in his apartment gathers dust. It taught us a lesson we needed, but it no longer holds power over us. Beauty lives in the choices we make every morning. If you ask me what I took from those years of slow change, I will tell you this. Love that lasts is never about saving someone, and it is never about changing them into something you prefer. It is about choosing each day to stand beside someone who is trying, and offering light when they cannot find their own. Please subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, give the video a like, leave a comment, and share the video.